When I was 15, my friends and I went on a late summer camping trip at a small state park in Pennsylvania. The park was almost empty that weekend, just a few families and the occasional hiker. We chose a spot near the lake, with a dense line of trees behind us, the kind that rustled and whispered when the wind blew. We spent the day swimming, skipping rocks, and telling ghost stories around the campfire. By dusk, the sky was a deep orange and the cicadas were starting their evening chorus. My friends went to the lake to fish, while I stayed behind to set up the tent. That's when I noticed someone watching us. At first, I thought it was another camper, but he was standing just on the edge of the trees, too close to still. A man in a gray hoodie, hands in his pockets, just staring. I tried to ignore him. Maybe he was lost, or just curious. But as the sun set, he didn't leave. He followed us always, keeping the tree line between us, never stepping fully into the clearing. We told ourselves it was nothing. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every snap of a twig, every rustle of leaves made me jump. Around 2 a.m., I woke to the sound of footsteps circling our tent. Heavy, deliberate. I froze, holding my breath. The zipper rattled. Then silence. We didn't tell the park rangers until the next morning. When they checked, they found footprints circling our campsite, and a knife half buried near the trees. The man had been watching us all night. Even now, I remember that stillness in the trees, the way he waited. To this day, I never learned what he intended. My family rented a small lake house for the last weekend of summer vacation. It was isolated, at the far end of the lake, surrounded by thick woods. The water was calm, reflecting the fiery red of the evening sky. I loved swimming there during the day, but by evening, the lake felt different. One night, after dinner, I went outside to skip stones. The sun had just dipped below the trees, and the house lights glowed warm against the darkening water. I heard a voice behind me. "Beautiful night, isn't it?" I spun around. No one was there. The air was still, except for the occasional rustle of leaves. I laughed nervously, telling myself it was probably one of my siblings playing a joke. But nobody was outside. Over the next hour, I kept hearing footsteps along the dock. Slow, soft, deliberate. I called out. Silence. Then, the dock creaked near the end, like someone was standing just out of reach. I ran inside, slammed the door, and double-locked it. The next morning, my dad found footprints in the sand along the water, but they stopped abruptly at the tree line. No one was ever found. No one ever explained them. Even years later, I feel that same chill near lakes. The kind of quiet that feels too quiet. When I was 14, my friends dared me to sneak into an abandoned fairground at the edge of town. The rides had been left to rust, and the ticket booths were boarded up. The summer heat made the broken rides smell of metal and dust. We laughed nervously as we stepped over broken fences. The Ferris wheel loomed above us, skeletal against the sunset. At first, it felt like an adventure, a harmless thrill. But then, I noticed footprints in the dirt fresh, leading toward the carousel. "No way those are from before," I whispered. We followed the trail, but the footprints seemed to vanish near the carousel. That's when we heard a creaking sound, like the Ferris wheel turning slowly, even though the motor had been long removed. A shadow moved near the ticket booth. We froze. A man, unkempt, crouched in the doorway, eyes reflecting the last rays of sun. He didn't speak. He just watched. We bolted. I don't remember running so fast in my life. One of my friends tripped, but the man didn't chase us. He just watched. The police investigated later. No one was living there. No one had been reported near the fairground for years. The thought that someone could have been hiding there all summer, watching, waiting, still gives me chills. Have you ever experienced something you can't explain? Share your story in the comments.